Aries, 10 spiritual realizations that could change your year. There are moments in life when something clicks. Not in the mind but deeper. In the soul. A truth you always sensed but never had the words for suddenly becomes clear. And everything shifts. If you are an Aries, this year may hold more of those moments than you expect. The spiritual realizations we are about to explore are not abstract ideas. They are lived truths born from experience, shaped by time, and waiting for the right moment to fully land in your awareness. Some of them you may already feel stirring. Others may arrive like a quiet earthquake, subtle on the surface but rearranging everything beneath. Either way, they have the power to change your entire year if you let them in. Awakening 1. The first realization is that your restlessness has always been spiritual hunger. For as long as you can remember, you have felt it. That constant pull towards something more. That inability to sit still, to settle, to accept things as they are without wondering what else is possible. The world called it impatience. People called it impulsiveness. But deep down, you always knew it was something else entirely. It was hunger. Not for food or success or recognition, but for meaning. For connection to something larger than the everyday routines that most people accept without question. This year, that hunger may finally find its true name. You may begin to understand that your restlessness was never a flaw. It was a compass. It was pointing you, always pointing you, toward a deeper engagement with life, toward a spiritual practice or a way of being that honors the fire inside you without burning you out. When this realization lands, when you truly see your restlessness as spiritual seeking rather than personal deficiency, it changes everything. You stop fighting yourself. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You start channeling that energy into practices that feed your soul instead of depleting it. Meditation, reflection, time in nature, creative expression, conscious breathing. These are not luxuries for an Aries. They are necessities. And this may be the year you finally embrace them not as obligations, but as homecomings. The fire inside you was never meant to be extinguished. It was meant to be directed. And when you realize that your deepest desire has always been spiritual fulfillment, rather than worldly conquest, the path ahead becomes surprisingly clear. Awakening 2. The second realization is that forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing yourself. Aries carries grudges differently than other signs. You do not sit quietly with your resentment. You feel it in your body, in your chest, in your jaw, in the tension that never quite releases. And for years, you may have told yourself that holding on to that anger was justified. That the person who hurt you does not deserve your forgiveness. That letting go would mean what they did was acceptable. But this year, a shift may occur. You may begin to see that the weight you carry is not punishing anyone but you. The person who wronged you may have moved on entirely. They may not even think about what happened. But you still wake up with it. You still replay the moment. You still feel the sting. Forgiveness, you will realize, was never about them. It was always about you. About reclaiming the space inside your heart that resentment has been occupying. About taking back the energy that anger has been consuming. About choosing your own peace over someone else's punishment. This does not mean you forget. It does not mean you reconcile. It does not mean you pretend the wound did not happen. It means you stop letting it define you. You stop giving it power over your present. You stop allowing someone's past actions to determine the quality of your today. When this realization truly settles into your bones, you will feel lighter than you have felt in years. Maybe decades. Because forgiveness is not weakness. For an Aries, it is the ultimate act of strength. It is saying, I am more powerful than what happened to me, and I refuse to carry it any longer. Awakening 3. The third realization is that silence holds more power than words. This one takes time for an Aries to accept. You are a sign of action, of declaration, of saying what needs to be said and saying it now. And there is power in that. There is absolutely power in speaking your truth boldly and without apology. But this year you may discover a different kind of power. The power of the unsaid. The power of sitting with a thought before releasing it. The power of letting a moment breathe instead of filling it with noise. Silence is not emptiness, Aries. It is fullness. It is the space where intuition speaks, where clarity forms, where the deepest truths rise to the surface because they finally have room. You have spent so much of your life reacting, responding, pushing forward with words and energy and force. But the most profound transformations often happen in stillness. in the pause between breaths, in the quiet moment before dawn, in the space between what you want to say and what you actually say. This year, you may find that your most powerful conversations are the ones you have with yourself, in silence, with no audience and no agenda. Just you and your soul sitting together listening. And what you hear in those moments may surprise you. It may guide you toward decisions you have been avoiding. It may reveal feelings you have been suppressing. It may offer clarity that no amount of external noise could ever provide. Silence is not the absence of power, Aries. It is where power is born. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Awakening 4. The fourth realization is that your body has been trying to talk to you for years. Aries lives in the body more than most signs. You are physical, active, present in your muscles and your bones and your breath. But there is a difference between living in your body and listening to it. For much of your life, you may have pushed through pain, ignored fatigue, dismissed the signals your body was sending because stopping felt like losing. But this year, the message may become impossible to ignore. Your body is not your enemy, Aries. It is your most loyal ally. Every ache, every tension, every moment of exhaustion is communication. It is your physical form telling you something that your mind is too busy to notice. Maybe it is telling you to rest. Maybe it is telling you that a relationship is draining you. Maybe it is telling you that the stress you carry is not just emotional. It is cellular. When you start listening, truly listening to what your body is saying, a remarkable thing happens. You begin to heal in ways that no medicine or therapy alone could achieve. Because you are addressing the root, not the symptom. You are honoring the vessel that has carried you through every challenge, every triumph, every heartbreak of your life. And that vessel deserves your attention. It deserves your gratitude. It deserves to be heard. Awakening 5. The fifth realization is that vulnerability is not the opposite of strength. It is the proof of it. For most of your life, you have equated strength with armor, with the ability to withstand, to endure, to keep your pain hidden and your doubts locked away where no one can see them. And in many ways, that armor served you well. It got you through situations that would have destroyed someone else. But armor has a cost. It keeps the pain in just as effectively as it keeps it out. And over time, the weight of carrying it becomes unbearable. This year, you may begin to set it down, piece by piece. Not recklessly, not with everyone, but with the people who have earned your trust. You may begin to share the things you have never said, the fears you have never admitted, the doubts that have lived in the shadows of your confidence for years. And here is what you will discover. Vulnerability does not make people pull away. It draws them closer. It creates bonds that surface-level strength never could. Because when you let someone see the real you, the complete you, the you that is brave and scared and certain and lost all at once, you give them permission to be the same. And that mutual honesty, that shared humanity, is the foundation of every meaningful relationship you will ever have. Vulnerability is not the crack in your armor, Aries. It is the doorway to everything you have been searching for. Awakening 6. The sixth realization is that your purpose is not a destination. It is a way of being. Aries often thinks of purpose in terms of goals. Something to achieve. Somewhere to arrive. A finish line that, once crossed, will finally provide the satisfaction you have been chasing. But this year, you may realize that purpose does not work that way. Purpose is not a place. It is a posture. It is not about what you do but how you do it. It is the intention behind your actions, the love behind your effort, the presence behind your participation in the world. When you shift from seeking your purpose to living your purpose, everything changes. Suddenly, the ordinary becomes sacred. A conversation becomes meaningful. A simple act of kindness becomes a spiritual practice. You stop waiting for the big moment and start recognizing that every moment is the moment. Every interaction is an opportunity to live in alignment. Every breath is a chance to choose who you want to be. This realization may feel like a release, like you have been carrying a question for decades and the answer was never out there. It was always in here, in the way you move through the world, in the quality of attention you bring to each day. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, The 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Awakening 7. The seventh realization is that the people who left were not your losses. They were your lessons. This is a hard one, Aries, because you love deeply, fiercely, with a totality that leaves no room for half measures. And when someone you loved walks away, it feels like a piece of your identity goes with them. You question what you did wrong. You replay the moments where things could have gone differently. You carry the absence like a wound that never fully heals. But this year, a new perspective may emerge. You may begin to see that every departure was a redirection, that every person who left created space for someone who belongs, that the endings you grieved were actually beginnings you could not see at the time because your eyes were still full of tears. This does not minimize the pain. It does not erase the loneliness, but it reframes it. It transforms loss into education, grief into growth, absence into opportunity. And when you look at your life from this angle, you will see that you are not missing anything. You are not incomplete. You are exactly where you need to be, surrounded by the people who were meant to stay. And the ones who left, they were teachers. Some taught you what you deserve. Some taught you what you will never accept again. And some taught you the most important lesson of all, that you are enough even when someone decides to walk away. Awakening 8. The eighth realization is that gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a frequency. You have heard people talk about gratitude. You have seen the lists, the journals, the morning routines that promise transformation through thankfulness. And perhaps you dismissed it as too simple, too passive, too soft for someone with your fire and your drive. But this year, you may discover that gratitude is anything but passive. It is one of the most active, powerful, transformative forces available to a human being. When you consciously choose to focus on what you have instead of what you lack, something shifts in your energy. Your vibration changes. Your perspective widens. Opportunities that were always there suddenly become visible, because you are no longer blinded by what is missing. Gratitude does not mean ignoring your problems. It means acknowledging that even in the midst of struggle, there are things worth appreciating. A body that still moves. A mind that still works. A heart that still loves despite everything it has been through. When you practice gratitude not as an exercise but as a way of being, you will notice that life responds differently to you. Doors open more easily. People treat you with more warmth. Coincidences multiply. Not because the universe is rewarding you, but because you are finally tuned to the frequency where good things live. Awakening 9. The ninth realization is that control is an illusion you no longer need. Aries loves control. You want to steer, to direct, to know where you are going and exactly how you will get there. And that drive has served you well in many areas of your life. But it has also caused you tremendous suffering, because life does not always follow your plans. People do not always behave the way you want them to. Circumstances do not always align with your timeline. And every time something deviates from your expectations, you feel the frustration, the anxiety, the desperate urge to force things back into place. This year you may finally let go of that need. Not because you are giving up, but because you are waking up. You are realizing that the most beautiful things in your life happen when you were not in control. The relationship that surprised you. The opportunity that appeared from nowhere. The path that unfolded without a map. Control gives the illusion of safety, but surrender gives the reality of flow. And when you learn to hold your intentions lightly, to set your direction but release your grip on the outcome, you will experience a freedom that control could never provide. It is the freedom of trusting life. Trusting yourself. Trusting that even when the road bends in unexpected ways, it is still leading somewhere meaningful. Awakening 10. The 10th realization is that your life has been preparing you for exactly this moment. Everything you have lived through, every joy and every sorrow, every triumph and every defeat, has been building toward now. Not toward a specific event or achievement, but toward a state of being. A level of awareness. A depth of understanding that could only come from living the life you have lived. You did not arrive here by accident, Aries. Every choice, every challenge, every detour was part of the design. And now, standing where you stand, with the knowledge you carry and the wisdom you have earned, you are more ready than you have ever been. Not for perfection. Not for a life without struggle, but for a life lived with full consciousness. A life where every moment is met with presence instead of autopilot. Where every challenge is approached with curiosity instead of fear. Where every relationship is honored as the sacred exchange it truly is. This is your moment, Aries. Not because the stars say so, not because some external force has declared it, but because you have done the work. You have walked through the fire. You have faced yourself in the mirror and chosen to keep going. And that is the most powerful spiritual realization of all. You are ready. You have always been ready. And now finally you know it. This has been a conversation between your mind and your soul, Aries. And if something stirred inside you while you were listening, that is not coincidence. That is recognition. That is the part of you that has always known these truths, finally hearing them spoken out loud. The year ahead holds more clarity than you expect, more peace than you thought possible, and more growth than you can imagine from where you stand right now. But it will not happen on its own. It requires your participation. It requires your attention. It requires the kind of intentional living that only an Aries who has truly awakened can sustain. You have spent enough time surviving. This year it is time to thrive. Not by doing more, but by being more. More present. More aware. More aligned with the fire that has always defined you. Let this be the year you stop chasing and start arriving. Not at a destination, but at yourself. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift. Or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.